Oh, when I registered with the Red Cross, my name was Lorraine Graves, Graves, and that was in 1944 during World War II. What was I doing before the war? I was volunteering, doing volunteer work at Grand Central and Penn Station. Life in New York was very tense, growing tension. The draft, air raid warden, blackout at night because of the German submarines being so close to the shores. And all my friends were signing up at the same time or being drafted. When the war started in '39, I was in Norway traveling with a friend because I lived in Paris with my mother at the time, so I was caught over there, but was able to return. And as far as our feelings, because I never really followed much, and I was just plain ignorant. Well, the pressure, what made me sign up with the Red Cross was actually the pressure of our situation in the war at the time, and the U.S. did want us to volunteer. My friends were volunteering, and my mother made it clear it was my decision, but the rest of my family wanted me to go. So I signed up. As far as changing, living from the apartment to the dormitory with the Red Cross was naturally an adjustment. But anyway, I was always treated very well by the Red Cross, and it was very fulfilling. And any surprises in Italy when I arrived was really the general atmosphere of war and the great tension that it created amongst everybody. Everybody was highly tense, whether you're a soldier, Red Cross, civilian. War is a very frightening experience when you're close to it. Now, at the end of my time in service to the war, I was first with the 15th Air Force, and after that with 5th Army. And I was there for the last, when we succeeded to break down the last barriers, and it was over. Then I went up to Verona, and I was assigned to managing a bakery. And the bakery had 3 shifts, starting at early morning and ending it late at night, and serving an enormous amount of buns and cakes to the soldiers to send to where they were located. The soldiers were always respectful to the Red Cross, and they treated me very well. The women were treated in the Army or the Red Cross. Well, there was a difference. I think the Red Cross had really a better time, as we were not completely subjected to Army rules. We did not belong to the Army. How did we feel about the death being so around us? Well, it just happened. It was just one of those things you heard about. When was it apparently? It was at the close of the war that you had the feeling of that the Allies were winning.
Can I ask you a question? Can you remember how it was on the ship on the way over to Europe and
I was
to Italy?
in a convoy on one of the Grace lines, the Cristobal.
Oh, wow.
And the Santa Maria was the lead ship. Only one ship became disabled, in that convoy and was left out to the submarines because we were surrounded by the German submarines. I don't know what happened to it.
And what was the name of the ship that
I don't know.
you were on?
I don't. The one I was on was the Cristobal.
Oh.
So, anyway, did I have any political climate or feel it? No, in Italy. I was not interested in, or the interest of politics didn't enter into the army life. And we only got news about what was happening in the other theaters of war was through talk. At least that was the way. And the only way I was able to communicate with my mother was by mail. My brother was in the South Pacific. He was in the 77th Division, my half-brother Kingsley Swan. And he was wounded in Iwo Jima and sent home finally. He saw a very grim reality of war. And I was about 15 miles behind the lines when I was assigned in Montecatini. That was where Fifth Army congregated.
Okay.
And so that was my experience, and it was, war is a dreadful, dreadful thing, and horrible. That's all I have to say.
All right.
What did you? Well, listen, this pause is it. What is it you want to ask me? Well, you ask it, Johnny. You're gonna.
And how, when you were running the bakery, what were any?
When I was
What was
running,
the experience like?
well, the experience was enormous because we were in the old reformatory in Verona, and I had a baker and his helpers, and the girls that had the trays and an enormously long oven. You started the dough in the front and it came out cooked in the back. And these were sent to the different places that the soldiers were. And the bakery was a very interesting experience. We prepared everything in great big vats.
And how were you treated by the soldiers and the people that you
Treated
served?
very well, and also by the Italian help. It was very nice. And then the English came, and they were much more severe because the sergeant major didn't want anyone to get extra cookies. So they barbed wired all around my bakery. But there was nothing I could do about that.
Okay. Who are some of the most interesting people that you encountered in the bakery, or did any of them scare you?
Was what?
The people that you
That I
encountered in the bakery or and met. And
Well, it was really a real job. I mean, it was hours of staying there and supervising and telling the new orders for the bakeries and what the men would like, and I'd redo some of the recipes to make it more American, like chocolate fudge sauce or something on the cake. And so it was quite very popular, and the English liked it too. Johnny. Well, you're going to have to fix this up, you know.
oh yeah.
Too many pauses. Okay.
I mean, it's not like we can't edit it, like. And but you were respected greatly by the
Oh, no,
the men in the.
I was treated very well by everybody. I was very fortunate that way. And I was with really a very nice lot of people.
And the men, they respected the members of the Red Cross?
Oh,
the women?
yes, we got along very well.
And were you ever present at the front line?
No, I went up there one day, very close to the front lines, but not all the way through. It was always a danger of being captured, and an officer drove me up there just to see it. And the amount of tension that I could observe in the soldiers was phenomenal. I mean, it is a nerve-wracking position to be in. No, I was well behind the lines there, and but the boys would come in, the men, the soldiers from their foxholes after 3 months in the cold, and they looked so differently, and they were so grateful to get back and have a little bit of comfort.